why don't we get into the Briana Dejesus story, okay, you guys? So, Teen Mom Next Chapter star Briana Dejesus is opening up about the fact that she would like to get her tubes tied. Apparently, this went down in the most recent episode of Teen Mom Next Chapter, which, spoiler alert, I haven't watched yet, though I will be watching it tonight, so I can get around to recapping it for y'all tomorrow. But she was talking about how she needs to, quote, make sure that I wipe out any possibility of me having another baby with someone like Lewis or Devon. The 3 baby daddies, no, not me. Once is a mistake, 3 times is a pattern, and that's just not going to be me. I just don't want to do birth control, but birth control is not for me. It gives me horrible side effects. Birth control works for some people, but for me, it doesn't. So how else can I protect myself? So I do have to ask you guys, like, how you feel about her decision to go ahead and potentially get her tubes tied. Not that, our opinions matter, but we have the right to them, right? Listen, I say good for you, Briana. Good for you. And you know what? Might I add, why don't you stop dating Dusties? Because what are you doing? It's like, okay, you have a kid with one broke man as a teenager. All right, whatever. You're teens. Of course, you're broke. You're teens. But then when you go as a grown woman, especially as a woman on TV, and you find yourself another broke man, an older broke man, come on now. That's weird, right? Go ahead and tie them tubes. If that makes you feel better, and if that prevents you from going down a path in life that you do not want to go down, then I support you. I think it's a very, very good decision. I think it's a very reasonable, responsible decision. Houston Rose says, clap, 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 Briana. Brittany's married, living her best life, and don't have to raise more kids. She will do the same thing, sadly. And I agree. By the way, you know what? I forgot that Brittany got married. Good for her. She seems so happy, too, when she announced it on her TikTok. Smart Move says DM. Jaleesa says her body, her choice. Yup. Good for her. I agree. Tennessee Girl says she always dates guys who are beneath her. I think she has low self-esteem. It makes me so sad for her. At least get a guy who seems like all the lights are home. I think both of her baby daddies, they're kind of just like drifting around. You know what I mean? Like, when there's like a plastic bag in the street and you're just sitting there, maybe you're eating an ice cream, minding your own business on the bench because it's a nice hot day. And then all of a sudden there's like a little dust and like a little gust of wind, and there's a plastic bag just there aimlessly. That's what I imagine goes on in those guys' brains, like nothing, So how do you have any kind of attraction to them, much less desire to procreate with them? I will never understand, but I do think it comes down to what you were saying, Tennessee Girl, which is a severe, severe, severe lack of self-esteem. And Lauren, I do see that too. She's shading Kale with a comment about 3. And the funny thing about that is that Kale used to be like, I can't, 2 baby daddies, that's bad enough. I can't, no, I'm not having, so it's crazy to think that she got up to 4. Kate says, I respect her decision. I think she's having a hard time with Devon in Michigan. I agree too. And Ramster, you were too funny. Briana being smart, that's new. Ramster, I played that song you told me about, Jardin des Larmes, to my friend, because my friend, he is a German language teacher, and he's doing an exchange with his students. They are going to be staying with host families of his German friend who is a teacher in Germany teaching French. They're doing an exchange of their students together. And I said, one of my girls, on my channel, she was talking to me about this song, and it was a fusion of German and French, maybe, and he knew the artist and stuff. So, well, no, I just thought about you for that. Do you think it's a jab at Kale? Yeah, you know what? It might just be. But you know what? When you look at Kale's baby daddies, stack them up against Brie, what do you have? You've got Joe, who now is super successful with a real estate empire, and he's always been very present in Isaac's life. And then you've got who's the next one? Javi, who had a successful military career. I think he's retired now, just living his best life. Yeah, he might bone girls, in the downstairs bathroom while his suffering fiance is upstairs nursing their baby. But he's present for the children, and he's financially stable. Then there's Chris. That's a mess. But okay, so I think that's one that's on Brie's level of baby daddyhood. And I think maybe that's why she wanted to get with him so bad, Then after that, she got with Elijah. He's a little young, I'll admit. However, he's very, very present with the kids. In fact, I would argue, based off of Kale's own words, that he's actually more present with their kids than Kale currently is, because she's always been frequently talking about on that podcast that the fact that she doesn't want the fact that she's got these new young kids to make her older kids feel like they're taking a back seat. So she still doesn't want to miss like games, this, that, and the other. So she will leave the little ones with Elijah while she goes and does like the games of this and that for Lincoln and whatnot. So there's that. Okay. So yeah, I think he's definitely up there. So I think, although she is shading her, and it's not okay to be out there, having four, it's not a good idea anyway, to be out there having like 4 baby daddies or whatever. I think she chose overall better quality baby daddies than Briana did. He saw some sadly, I was caught up with a Dusty in the past. The love bombing and the company vacations were so nice, but I couldn't support his mother. Oh, the mother. Absolutely freaking not. Never. No. You had like 3 decades on me to have yourself a nice life, and you're coming to me asking me to finance you? Absolutely not. You know what? Are you Virginia? Because Virginia had this problem. That's why she walked away from what's his face, Devin, at the altar. He's awesome. Are you Virginia? And yeah, Shaggy, wasn't me. That was so dirty of him to do. Your fiance is up there with your baby and you were boning someone in the downstairs bathroom, you freaking sicko. And I do want to also call out to Jennifer's comment. Don't forget, Briana, just because you're going to have like, you're not going to be having kids once you get your tubes tied, doesn't mean that you cannot get any more STDs. In fact, this photo, ironically, was taken when she was at that STD clinic, finding out she had, what was it? The clap? Was it the crabs? I don't know what it was. Although it was a very, very responsible thing for her to do, to go ahead, get tested, notify her partners and all that. But that doesn't mean that you still should not be wrapping it up. So we don't want to see you falling into that drama again, Brie. Wrap it up moving forward. Okay, girl?